Yeah, I always feel like instead of being scared of anything, just attack it. Like prep for it. Like you were going for the biggest fight of your life. And if you are going into a surgery, and maybe it's elective, maybe it's not elective, there's a diagnosis that you weren't expecting, but like put on not only your spiritual armor for all of it, but, I just like to have the attitude of a warrior that I'm going to do whatever I can to fight this the best. So not that menopause is the enemy. It's certainly not, but that's my mindset and my attitude about most things in life. So especially when it comes to stress, it's like, and how to manage it, instead of getting down on it. And because I've been there too, I've managed depression for a lot of my life. I had a few episodes on my podcast and talked about that, which I think a lot of people were surprised to know that I've have dealt on and off with depression since my 20s. But, it's just something like having a fighter attitude can change everything for you to, put on the boxing gloves and get whatever stress or things in your life under control.
What was it for you? What helped you in those times when you were dealing with depression?
It's been a lot. Aside from medication at times, I don't take medication for it anymore, which I'm grateful for. But at times in my life, that was what I needed and was helpful and wasn't afraid of that. But really basic tools that go so far, like getting out for a walk and getting fresh air, is huge. And that's one of my biggest stress relievers today. So no matter whatever the circumstances are, I know that when I get outside, I go for a walk, I get that fresh air, I just get my body moving, it can reset your entire mind and perspective and also your body. So that has been a huge tool for me, exercise, which is why I really like exercise, because of the benefits of it, and why I've showed my exercising on Instagram, because I do want to encourage people to get out, but it doesn't have to be a whole program. Just getting out and walking is so beneficial. And as far as depression goes, talking to someone is probably one of the hardest things to do, but it's the most valuable and really helped change where I was at. So talking to someone, meaning first steps, opening up to someone and admitting, like, I'm struggling with this. Can you help me? Or letting someone on the inside to know that, my face may be happy, but inside I'm hurting or I am sinking. And that right there is one of the hardest things to do, is to let people know, or let someone know. And then, another step further is to actually talk to a therapist or some type of practitioner. Those have been really big steps too.
Are you more of a verbal processor? Are you a journaler? How do you get it out? Because there's power in both. There's power in taking power to paper to pen, or pen to paper, but there's also a ton of power in just vocally telling somebody else and getting it out of you and letting them hold it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm definitely a verbal processor. That's my go-to. So talking to someone, having therapy has been incredible. And I'm a communication girl. So I don't like things unsettled, and I just want to talk it out and grapple with it or fix it immediately. There's times though that I do journal. I'm not a regular journal, but I do at specific times. And that's also been very helpful. And in a way too, that it will help remind me. Journaling can often feel like talking to the Lord. So it's almost like I'm just writing my thoughts and my prayers on paper in a way that, like, I'm having a conversation with God. And journaling is a good, helpful tool also, because I can go back and then remind myself where I was and where I am now. And when you can see the progression of, hey, I did take 2 steps forward here. Like maybe I'm in a place where I feel like I'm sinking again, but I can go back and say, oh, but I've actually progressed. So this is a good thing. Or God has answered these prayers that I was very specific about, and marking those off. So journaling is also so positive, but I do that in addition to the verbal process, which is most important for me.